Hey guys, welcome back to Ultima Games Couch Co-op Podcast. I'm Taman, and here with my buddy Cruz.
Howdy.
How is everything, Cruz? I know you have been eager to talk about some Nintendo news.
Pretty much. So this past yesterday, I don't know, I was about to say 2 days ago, but yesterday there was an Indie World Direct where they were just announcing the next wave of indie games coming within 6 months to a year from now.
Right. Okay.
It was pretty all right in the beginning. Just he had a couple of casual games, like there was like one or two like Animal Crossing like games, some with a hint of Story of Seasons / Harvest Moon vibe to them.
Right.
A cute little board game that's about cats and quilts, I believe. I'm not gonna lie, the smaller ones that didn't catch my eye were just okay. I'm not gonna hate on it. It's not my cup of tea. But then what did catch my eye was one of the other games on the presentation was Rift of the Necrodancer. Now, have you ever played Crypt of the Necrodancer?
I've heard of it, but I've never played it.
So Rift of the Necrodancer, to me, is like if you take Guitar Hero and you turn it into like a pseudo fighting game or RPG.
Right.
But you take the controls of Guitar Hero and you're playing as the main character, and she's going around like fighting monsters and bosses. It was just insane. The music was really dope and had a bunch of mini games that were similar to like the Rhythm Heaven games.
Right.
It was pretty dope. I know it just comes out this year, and I'm excited for it. Hoping it gets a physical.
Okay.
Next game that came out in that presentation was Animal Well. Have you heard of a guy named Video Donkey?
No.
He's a big YouTuber. He was the only video I remember off the top of my head from him. Not hating on him, by the way. It was just his Dark Souls videos where he was showing how he plays Dark Souls, and it was pretty he was purposely playing. I don't know what he was, but it was funny. It was just him playing Dark Souls, and it was just pretty bad. But it was just I don't know how to say it without making it sound like I'm roasting him. I'm not. Just check out this video. Everybody pretty knows him. He's up there.
Right.
Anyways, started his own publishing company to get indie games out there, and his game that he's helping publish right now is called Animal Well, and it's sort of like a Metroidvania.
Right.
But you're playing as this little blob going through like a labyrinth filled with animals that may or may not hurt you. It just depends on the animal's passive aggressiveness towards you.
Right.
But it was pretty good. It was very atmospheric, and the visual aesthetics were like a step up from an old Atari game. But like it's in the modern era. Like I know like maybe Atari's like pushing it too far back, but like whatever it was, I really liked it. It was really pleasing to the eyes for me.
Right. Okay.
Next one up was Crime O'Clock. You ever look at those picture books as a kid, like I Spy or Where's Waldo? Like, imagine like that, but it's a whole game that's like a puzzle based, like find the clues and solve puzzles kind of game.
Right.
It was all right. I like the art style, but it looked a little too slow for me.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's like a good game to like relax to before bed.
Right. Right. Okay.
Then we had Shadows Over Loathing. So it's a sequel to West Over Loathing. So West Over Loathing, I think, was a stickman RPG. I have no idea how to describe it, but it's a cowboy stickman RPG. And the sequel one is more based on like fantasy.
Right.
It was weird, but it was funny because you could be a cheese wizard, as the trailer highlighted, which...
Oh, what the hell? Is it a top-down game by chance?
No, it's just like classic Final Fantasy, like turn-based RPG, but just stick figures. It's goofy, but I ain't gonna hate on it. It's just funny.
Dang, okay.
And then we had Shadow Drop of Tesla Grad Remastered and Tesla Grad 2.
Okay.
Tesla Grad was a physics-based puzzle platformer.
Right.
Pretty dope. I liked it from what I saw in the gameplay. And the next one, though, caught me by surprise. Have you heard of a game called Blasphemous?
Blasphemous?
Blasphemous.
It's almost sounding like Infamous, man.
No. It is a 2D style Metroidvania that's in the vein of like the Souls series, where it's very difficult. You gotta explore. You die, you go get your souls back, yada yada.
Right.
They announced its sequel today.
Oh wow. Okay.
Or not today, but during the presentation.
Nice.
It's being held by, I believe, a Spanish studio. So, gotta represent like the culture's out there. And I only remember like a little bit of the lore behind the game, where it's based on like, I believe, like crusades or something very religious. I'll say that much. But regardless, it looks good, and the sequel looks even better. So I'm excited to get my hands on it.
Okay.
It comes out this summer. Are you a fan of point and click adventure games like the Telltale series?
I like the Telltale series. I played a few of them.
So Oxenfree was one that came out around the Switch's launch period back in 2017, give or take. Is the earliest I remember people talking about it.
Yeah, I remember seeing coverage on that game.
It got a sequel announced during the presentation, and out of everybody publishing it, Netflix.
That's weird.
Like, yeah, Netflix, I guess, opened up on their own game studio.
Yeah, they've been talking about it for a while now, too.
And yeah, I guess this is the result of that. Outside of, their Stranger Things and their Dark Castle or Dark Crystal game that came out a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess this is another one under their studio. It's like The Walking Dead, then that style point and click, but it's in a 2D style, and it looks like it's based around. It gives me a Stranger Things vibes. I don't know if you've ever seen that show.
Yeah, I have.
It gives me that vibe. It's just good. It's like that weird Lovecraftian horror kind of.
Yeah, that's the thing I see the most that people say about that game. They've got the Stranger Things vibe, and it's just the way it tells its story and whatnot. It's kind of interesting, but I've never had the chance to play it. I want to check it out though. I'm very curious.
The weirdest one that came out that Shadow dropped today was the fact that Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach dropped on the Switch.
I've seen gameplay of that. How the hell is Five Nights at Freddy's still around? Because I remember seeing that game when it first came out, and it was just you and the monitor, and you're just clicking tabs to close doors and vents and stuff.
So I know during like the pandemic time between like 2020 to 2022, I know like the main series of FNAF games came out on the Switch and PlayStation consoles.
Right.
And it's just weird because I remember people saying that Security Breach hella like made people's computers lag and even made PS5s lags. I'm like, how the hell did they get this thing on the Switch? I don't doubt them. But I was like, yo, this game was like, I heard that this thing made PC struggle. So
yeah,
I guess kudos to them. I'll check out the performance of it because I'm curious.
Yeah, they definitely fixed it. It was weird because like when seeing that game and then now seeing the new version that they have out coming to Switch, I saw the trailer for it. I'm like, this game is so different from like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, it's a legit horror game now.
It's wacky, dude.
Yeah, it's wild to think
then
about.
they did a little scissor reel where that's where I saw FNAF there. You had something called Paper. It got a trailer. It was an interesting puzzle platformer again, I want to say, just from the vibe I got, because they didn't give a description. It was a quick sizzle reel.
Right.
Another one was called Little City, Big Kitty. Like a very budget version of Stray. Not trying to hate on the devs, but you could tell that they weren't giving that like Sony money.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was surprised how many people like that Stray game.
Chance of Senar, I don't remember having any reaction to it. It just kind of like came and went for me.
Right.
One that caught my eye, it's funny. It's just called Brotato.
What the hell?
It's just, I guess you're a potato with guns, and that's the whole.
Dang.
You're just trapped in a room. It reminds me of this game called like back on Newgrounds. I think it was called Boxes.
Mm-hmm.
You're locked in a room and shooting zombie hordes for a while. That's what it reminds me of. I just like the name Brotato. It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Something called Escape Academy Complete Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm assuming it's just an escape room game for the Switch.
Right.
One that got super hyped because I finally got the release date on it was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. You know what that is?
I've seen the trailer for it. I'm watching it now actually, and this just looks like Jet Set Radio.
That's what, dude. That's basically what it is. A whole bunch of devs from Jet Set Radio are making this game.
Man,
they even got the original composer from that to do it.
It's literally just Jet Set Radio, but like in a great way. Like I love it.
Yeah, and it's a Switch and Steam exclusive.
Nice. Yeah, it's looking fantastic. I mean, the graphics, like they're literally like 1-to-1. If you said this was a Jet Set Radio sequel, I would believe you.
And it comes out August 18th, so only 7 days after my birthday.
Dang,
I'm hoping it gets a physical, man, because just the vibe, the colors, like stuff like that gets my attention. Like I love like urban, like future style like that.
Right, they do it really well, and I love how they kept the spirit of it. They must have got the same art director because this game looks just like it's kind of scary, but I love how like modern it is. Like you get a phone, like come on, dude. Legit. I remember if they got the same composers like you say they did, bro, that soundtrack's gonna bang.
Oh yeah,
because Jet Set Radio soundtrack is so good. The only thing that beat it was that Air Gear one when it came out.
True.
Yeah, Skank Funky killed it with that. That was unbelievable. But this looks great. Like I'm probably the most excited about this out of anything.
Same. Like I remember when they teased it like last time. It was only 30 seconds, but the fact they not only just teased it and gave us like a proper trailer and a release date, I'm like, that's all we need. I'm hoping pretty soon maybe we can get a little demo. Some of these indies give us demos. Give me a demo. I wanted to get that feel of it first.
Yeah, I mean, dang, I'm surprised they had some bangers for this for this this indie event. And I'm browsing through them right now, and it's they're actually fairly interesting. Like there's a lot of good games on there.
I like I said, a lot of those games are not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But the fact they get like this wide range of diversity in them, it's always commendable.
Right.
I'm always happy to like see who they get, and who they're willing to support in this highlight reel.
Yeah, it's just great for indie games just in general because over the years, like I remember like the days of like Xbox Live on 360, like the arcade, how that was coming out. That was great playing those games. Like Afterburner Climax was one of the best games on 360 you could play. It was just a lot of fun, and they had a bunch of great games, and indie momentum has just gone forward since then. And I'm glad that every platform has been embracing it like it has been.
I'm kind of glad too that nowadays that people have like tempered their expectations, not to expect like AAA bangers from these things. They're just like, okay, it may or may not be for me, but that's fine. Right. I know the biggest one people were disappointed that wasn't there was Hollow Knight 2 Silk Song.
Yeah,
I get it, but whatever Team Cherry's doing with that game, just let them cook, as they say. Just let them cook.
They'll put out something, I'm sure, because they're pretty reliable when it comes to stuff like that, especially because they know that what the fans want,
And there's only a team of like 20 dudes. They can only do so much if you want that really good sequel.
That's crazy to think about. There's a Sony game like that too right now that it was inspired by Final Fantasy 15. I think it was like Lost Souls Aside, I think. And it was just like it was made by one guy, and then it was funny because he was posting it, and I think he did a GoFundMe. And Sony was like, "Yeah, like we'll literally like help you develop this game." They brought him in and started teaching him all these things, and it was great. The trailer was actually interesting too. It literally looked like what Final Fantasy 16 kind of is now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, and yeah, it's great to see that kind of development. I can't imagine being one person developing a game. Less than no
conspiracy or tinfoil theory here.
Man, is it even possible at that point? Like,
who knows?
Man, because like when we saw that game, that was easily like 10 years ago. It's still not out, of course, but it's just like
sometimes patience is best. Or
yeah,
if it flops, then at least it's a flop that will be heard around the world.
That is true. I mean, if Sony was willing enough to approve it, something's got to be there. Whether it just be regular, just them scouting his talent or what, but. Yeah, indie developers are awesome. I love indie games. Like, I think right now my favorite one is Fury. That game was Fury. Came out on PS4. Loved it. Hated how hard it was, but loved it.
I remember that. I think if I had to pick my first indie game that like I wrapped my like full attention on, it was Cave Story. Because I heard about it when it was on the WiiWare, the Wii Shop channel. That was the first indie game I played. Jeez. And it's just like I learned how good indie games could be. That it's just not always for look out for this Capcom game, look for this Sega game, look for this Activision game. Just sometimes the smallest games can bring you like the biggest experiences.
Right. And it kills. Yeah, indie games are great. They should always be supported no matter what. Like they're just such a fresh breath of just like something new that's not like, AAA games are great and everything, but it's just like there's nothing more fun than finding like a great indie game that you just enjoy.
Especially at some of the bargains you get them for. Sometimes you question like, yo, why is this only $20, $30, $10? Like this is, I feel like I'm stealing from you from what quality put into this, man.
I think I played an indie game like a few months back when I first started like streaming, and it was like Severed Steel, and it made my PC run like trash. But man, it was so much fun though, like just running around at like John Wick speed and just nailing everyone with a shotgun. It's great. Wish I got the chance to finish it, but I just couldn't figure out why it made my PC run like crap. But definitely a fun game though. This is great though. But Jet Set Radio remake is pretty great. I'm just gonna call this Jet Set Radio sequel, like because that's what this is. I'm surprised they didn't choose a closer title.
Probably to avoid legal stuff.
Come on, you can.
What's funny is like you seen recently that Sega lended out their properties like Panzer Dragoon, Alex Kidd, and Streets of Rage. I'm just surprised Sega didn't say, you know what, take the name. Just like they could, even if it like had none of the characters from Jet Set Radio or Jet Set Radio Future, you could have just taken a name and put in Jet Set Radio Cyberpunk. That way, it's still half your property, half Sega's. You guys can go in and at least it'll get that brand recognition. But at the same time, if it didn't sell well, and Sega wouldn't approve of another sequel for it.
That's true. They probably wanted to cut. That's probably the biggest thing though. They should have just did something like reverse the name or something like Set Radio Jet or something. That would have been hilarious. Because technically that's not the title, so.
That would have been funny. Just
reversed. And it's just like, yeah, did it. Dang. I can't wait to see that. I'm really excited about that. That's supposed to release when,
August 18th.
Oh, wow. That's far away. Fuck.
Gives you time to play Tears of the Kingdom and everything else in your backlog.
I got a lot. I hate how much I have in my backlog right now. Like I still have Persona games in my backlog. That's how bad it is. take up time, a lot of time. I don't think I'm ever gonna be able to finish my games, but that's what retirement's gonna be for later on in my life.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see. So, any other games you want to talk about for the thing besides before we clear it up?
For the indie stuff, not for the presentation itself, but there have been a few games I think you should check out.
Let me hear.
So I would say the next indie game you should check out is called Sword of the Vagrant, I believe. It is a 2D Metroidvania platformer ish. It reminds me a lot of Dragon's Crown from Vanillaware.
Right.
There's Vernal Edge or Eternal Edge. It's another Metroidvania, I believe.
Sort of the Stranger or Sort of the Vagrant?
Sort of the Vagrant.
Gotcha. Okay. Check out the trailer.
Yes, that one. There you go.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, if you play Dragon's Crown, right?
Is this what this is based off of?
No, it's its own thing, but it's just it just happens to be inspired by it.
I fucking love Dragon's Crown. That game is awesome.
I do too. I feel like Sony should just let go of the property. If they're not going to do anything else with it, just release it on PC, Steam, and Switch.
Yeah. Was that a Square Enix title or no?
No, it was Atlas and
That's right.
I think just Atlas and Vanillaware.
Yeah.
I think that was pre-acquisition though, pre-Sega acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, I don't know if it's a Sony thing or if it's a Sega thing, but somebody should just release that on everything else and make it cross-play.
Right. And this is the Dark Souls game, right? That's supposed to be kind of hard as nails.
Dragon's Crown?
No. This one.
Sort of the Vagrant, something else. It's just one that was in my that caught my eye from one of the guys I'm subscribed to.
Okay. And it's coming to PlayStation, right? Not just Nintendo.
It should be on Switch and everything else right now. Digitally, I just know physically. I pre-ordered a physical copy through Video Games Plus because it comes with little keychains, some knickknacks.
Okay.
But it's out now. It's definitely something you should be on the lookout for.
This is literally. I think this is a Dark Souls like style game because I'm seeing mana and your numbers building up with like gold.
I think it's just a regular RPG that like not worrying about you die, you got to go collect your loot again.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I love the art style.
Yeah, it's great. Like it's beautiful actually, and not just the great bits either. It's actually really nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just as good as Dragon's Crown.
I think a lot of people are now learning how to do what Vanillaware does, and I'm not taking that away from them. They do 2D hand-drawn games beautifully, but the indies are catching up.
Oh yeah, people are gonna catch up. That's the one thing about Untapped Talent is that they're always gonna come through and really just bring in the work. Like shoot, just look at games that are like starting to look like Arc System Works. Don't get me wrong, they're still kings on top of anime style graphics, but shoot, CyberConnect 2 those Naruto games look pretty good.
Yes.
Them shoot. I'm trying to think what else. Atlas doing their thing. Shoot, out there. If their Persona engine gets any better, oh my god, it's gonna be insane.
Another one you should be on the lookout for is Vernal Edge. VERNAL Edge.
Vernal Edge.
Yes.
These titles, man.
I know. I mean, you can only do so much with like the words out there, man.
That is true. This is true.
Vernal Edge is a 16 to 32-bit inspired Metroidvania. I don't believe there's any Dark Souls elements to this one, like the whole you die, reclaim your things. But
right,
I love the aesthetic. The pixel art is great, and I love the overworld map. It looks like a PS1 game. Like it goes from a 2D game to a PS1 like overworld. Hopefully, like you see that real quick.
Okay, is this a roguelike game by chance?
No.
Okay.
You just you travel from Sky Island to Sky Island.
Okay, nice.
See that?
Oh wow, yeah, that's actually really great.
The nostalgic feels. It feels like a lost PS1 game.
Right. It's like a mix of like Ni no Kuni and Final Fantasy. It's kind of weird, but like great to look at. Oh, it's platforming. I'm shit at platforming, dude. I'm so bad at platforming. It's ridiculous.
You get used to it eventually.
Okay, there's some Shovel Knight aspects. You know what? I'm not really shying away from hard games right now. Like for me, I'm trying to embrace more harder games. I'm trying to get better as a gamer because right now I feel super subpar, and I just want to really step it up. I really want to challenge myself a lot more.
I feel that
because I'm tired of just like I'm not tired of easy. Usually that's what I usually like, but at the same time, it's just like I want a little bit more from my games rather than just enjoying the ride.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to start challenging myself more. So I welcome hard games.
You want to feel like you need to put your attention to something instead of just like have a casual stroll. Like
right.
You need that little push sometimes. Just otherwise you're gonna doze off and not really care.
Yeah, I need something to make me like feel something aside from just a good story and whatnot. Granted, there's nothing wrong with playing a game on normal or anything, but I'm ready. I'm just ready for challenges. I'm about to play Elden Ring soon, and I know that's just gonna be frustrating. I got this little basket on Amazon too. It's hilarious. It's like a basket with like foam inside of it, so it's for people like who just toss their controllers in it so it doesn't break it. Because I already tossed the Xbox controller once, and it's opened up a little bit, but it still works. Thank God. Because dude, Wulong Fallen Dynasty is a headache right now.
I bet, man.
Yeah, that game's fire though. I will definitely check this out.
I had some more, but those are the two that stick out to the top of my head because I know both of those got physicals that I need to get my hands on.
Yeah.
I guess one more to keep your eyes on would be Grim Guardians Double Purge or Demon Purge.
Right.
This will be the last one for me. And this one came out a while ago. Again, I'm getting my physical next month, I think, from that.
Nice. And that's when it releases too?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting it for Switch, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All these games are on Switch, PS4, maybe Xbox, but Grim Guardians Demon Purge.
Yeah.
So have you heard of the Galgun series?
Yeah.
This is a spin-off of that.
Are you serious?
Yes, but it plays like a Metroidvania. Like
what is with these Metroidvania spin-off games? Have we just perfected that formula now for everyone?
Kinda. I mean, but look at it though.
Yeah, it looks great. Like,
I don't know how they take a gun, a light gun fucking rail shooter like Galgun, and just dead ass make a really good Metroidvania out of it.
Yeah, man, it's just what you can do with a good art style and a past games formula. My only concern with it is just like, I don't know. Should it be? I'm getting a lot of. I get what it's trying to be, but it's just it's almost so similar. It's kind of scary.
Well, if it helps you, the reason why you get that vibes is because one, this is done by Inti Creates. They made the Mega Man Zero series, the ZX series, and they also helped on plot twist, Bloodstained.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they have experience in this genre.
This just looks like Bloodstained DLC, but like not in like
The same universe.
Not in the same universe.
But yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's still the Galgun universe.
And there's a 2-player mode?
Yeah.
Damn, crossplay?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, dang. So I'm gonna have to buy 2 copies of this game. Well, no, I can't play this on Switch. I will tear that Switch apart. I get it on a PlayStation, PS5. Yeah, you should totally get it on PS5 too. I feel with you get it on PS5.
I don't think it's online co-op. I think it's just local.
Oh, that's lame. Oh well. Yeah, definitely. Check this out though. Yeah, those are some great games. I can't lie. I'm actually really interested in all of them.
I'm always digging through the next indie game to get my attention, and hopefully seeing the next one that gets a physical. But yeah, these are
so these being indie games. These are I assume these aren't full priced.
No.
So
rarely have I ever seen an indie game be full price unless it's like a collection of like several indie games and like oh, this game had 3 sequels, so we're gonna bundle them in. And that's fair. That's you can't you're getting 3 games. That's fair price asking for 40 or 60 right there.
Gotcha. I just was checking to see because I'm pretty sure most games like that are.
Yeah, like those 3 I showed you physically, I believe are only like $35 tops.
Yeah, dang. Depending on my budget this week, shoot, I might have to get that and Elden Ring. Those 3. Man, you know what really makes me just want to have these games on Vita so bad. Vita. Come on, man. And Vita is like the indie platform right now. If I feel like more indie developers were like with it, and then like enough just came and like they sold really well, they would just bring back Vita no problem. But hey, that rumor of handheld is still out there, so if they, I swear to God, if they say anything just remotely close to Vita, and you can play games like how it was on Vita, instantly pre-ordering it.
Just keep in mind, it's just Sony and how they're fumbling with hardware. Like,
yeah, I get it. It's probably gonna be some remote play crap.
Just keep expectations low, and if it's not, if they actually break them, good. If not, you're already expecting nothing.
I'm telling you, man, people are ready for that thing to come out. If I was just them, I would just literally just drop it. Be like, yeah, this comes with a memory card, extra long battery, super awesome screen, durably built well.
Everything you were saying is exactly what Jim Ryan would never say.
I know. That's the only problem.
That man is just stopping you from your dreams.
It hurts, dude. It really does. I'm like the only person I know who plays a Vita still, and it hurts, dude.
Well, to be fair, one, they're not stocked in stores anymore.
That's fair, but they're still cheap on everywhere else though. I see them in like pawn shops every now and again, and
right, but like, and this is not like me hating on the system, but it makes sense for devs to just go for like something that has like the larger install base.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not like I get why people are moving away from it because it's it's almost a dead platform. It's like 95% of the way there.
It's pretty much dead. Like it's as dead as the 3DS. It is. Yeah, its shop is still open compared to the 3DS, but at this point, everybody's using both systems, the 3DS and the Vita.
Take that, Nintendo.
And Wii U. They're just homebrewing the shit out of them.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, they're just hacking it. I think even the Vita is really easy to hack. Granted, I don't want to do that until they close the store, actually, but I'll probably buy another one and just hack it eventually. And then my 2DS, once I beat Persona Q and Persona Q went up again. Well, 2 did, not the first one. But yeah, I gotta hurry to get that because they're going up quick.
Mm-hmm.
And I need a physical copy of that.
You do, because that's gonna skyrocket to gold.
Yeah, the Wii Play, dude, they had a Game Boy Advance SP. They wanted like $300 for it, but I'm seeing on eBay for like $60. I was like, dude, what's wrong with you guys? It wasn't even mint condition either. Shame.
Nostalgia baiting.
Really though, it really is. But yeah, I mean, these games are fantastic. Like, I'm actually excited about some indie games. It's been a while since I played one myself, but I might have to jump into that.
I'll be your indie watch then, just so I can let you and anybody watching like to keep an eye on certain games.
Say less. So now, out of those 3 games, one's releasing in August, another one's releasing.
Oh,
what are the other 2 release dates for those?
So, Rift of the Necrodancer was just given a 2023 release date. Nope. So we don't know anything yet. Yeah. But the dev is competent. They did their original game, Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Right.
They were partnered with Nintendo to do Cadence of Hyrule, which is a sequel / spinoff of both series and merged into one. And now we have Rift of the Necrodancer. So we just, as far as I know, just 2023 for that one. And the other game, Blasphemous 2, is also a 2023 game. So let's just shoot for the end of the year for that one.
Okay. Damn, that sucks. I really want to play these now. So none of them's coming out like super close right now.
The closest one we have right now for you would be Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk?
Or the Jet Set Radio like game.
Yeah, okay.
I keep getting that game's name confused with Hi-Fi Rush that came out like 2 months ago or a few months ago on Xbox.
Yeah.
Because they both have like that like aesthetic. They look similar, and I'm like their names just kind of mesh between my brain.
That's fair. Were you planning to play that, by the way? The Hi-Fi Rush game?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw his JoJo references like pretty hard, so I'm probably gonna try it. I haven't actually downloaded it on the Game Pass on my PC right now. I've just been playing so much Wulong.
Maybe take a break and give Hi-Fi Rush a try.
I want to, but then I'm just like, damn, I really want to play some Wulong. I'm addicted, but like in a bad way. I don't want to play anything else right now, and it's kind of getting in the way of everything else. That's why I'm trying to be done this week. Tomorrow's probably the last day I stream it. Whether or not I finish it on stream will determine a lot. I'm probably Justin wants to play tomorrow, so I'm probably just gonna play some Battlefield with him later in the night. Mm-hmm. But as soon as I get home, I'm gonna eat, play some Wulong. I'm trying to breeze through it. I'm already in sections where I'm like super underleveled, and it's getting annoying.
That's fair. Right now, I'm going through something like that, similar with what I've been playing recently. Has been, I told you before, was another Team Ninja game that you've been playing. Well, you've been playing one of their games. I'm playing one of their games as well, and that's Ninja Gaiden 1 on Switch.
Good luck, dude.
I'm like 2 chapters away from beating it, but I put that on pause because I was also diving into a little bit of Digimon Survive, their visual novel strategy game. Mm-hmm. And I got 3 games juggling right now, with the 3rd game being a collection. I've been also playing the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection.
Nice.
I am enjoying the fuck out of it. I am happy with the updates. And I'll say this. For the hardcore Battle Network fans, this isn't like the definitive edition. The first game in the collection doesn't have the operating Shooting Star DS remake, quality of life improvements. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I know the first game is rough for some people. Not because it's bad, but is compared to Battle Networks 2 through 6, you can tell that that's more of a proof of concept than a final game.
Right.
But with the added Buster Max mode, where they take Mega Man's Buster and make it to where it does 100 damage per multiplier you have, it makes going through the first game like a breeze. And obviously, I'll turn it off during the major story boss fights. Right. But when I'm grinding for battle chips or money, I have that shit on. I ain't gonna waste time doing that shit. What's cool about that too is their previous legacy collections. If you had like the easy mode turned on, it would lock you out of getting trophies.
What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, fun fact. Even on the Switch version, the achievements in the game are called trophies, which I just found funny because I thought that was like a PlayStation thing. But the Steam and Switch versions call their achievements trophies.
Right.
So funny as hell for that. But in the previous Legacy collections, if you got easy mode turned on, you were basically locked out of getting trophies that way.
That sucks.
This game, They said, nah, you want to have easy mode turned on and you can still get trophies that way. We don't care. Just get the trophies as they're described. Don't care if you have easy mode or hard mode. I'm like, thank God. Just like, if you're going to have people get the easy mode,
right?
Like, don't punish them for using it.
Right. The point is for it to be easier.
Yeah, and if you have like a, beat this game on hard mode, then that's fine.
Right.
Don't just lock out all the other achievements for not doing it that way.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, dude, for the $60 value, if you're a fan of Battle Network, yeah, get it. And honestly, I'm hearing nothing but good news sales wise.
Mm-hmm.
This thing has been topping the Japanese charts with the Switch version. I think was at 57,000 launch week.
Oh damn!
And the PS4 version at 7,000. Doesn't sound like much, but letting you know now, this is already outselling the other legacy collections, and it's even outselling Mega Man 11.
Damn.
So,
how many copies is it sold? Do you know?
Oh, I honestly I don't know. I just know Japan numbers. We haven't gotten American numbers yet because the game is still fresh. It's only been out a week.
Dang, that's crazy.
But the fact that it's still topping charts, come on, Capcom, give us another Battle Network, or if you're gonna make us wait on the new game, give us the Star Force and Legends collection.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like remakes and remasters just have been really good lately, with the exception of like some ports. I don't want to mention who because I don't want to trigger you, but
oh, I know who you're talking about. It took me a second. I was like, oh, the moment you said not trigger me, like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because man, they've been doing all right. Like Resident Evil 4 came out, that's been getting like nothing but rave reviews, and it looks fantastic too. Like I'm not a big Resident Evil fan myself, to the point where I'll play it, but I'll tune into it here and there with on somebody's stream. And yeah, it looks fantastic. Like it looks really good.
I think after the convention my roommates and I are gonna go to, I think we're probably gonna get it, and I'll probably be playing it then. I was only hesitant on playing the game because I had one thing. So being a dog owner, I'm sensitive to animals dying. And in the original RE4, I don't know if you ever played it. Leon got to let me say this, spoilers. Leon got to rescue a dog, and the dog will help you out later on a boss fight.
Right. When
they first presented RE4 remake, they showed him rescuing the dog, but then later down the line, the dog was still slaughtered, very graphically, mind you. And I did not like that. I was like, what's the point of saving it if you're going to do that to me? And at the time, they're saying, oh, we want it to be more scary, more horrific. I'm like, that's cheap. Like, not just in that game, but like anytime they use dogs in a horror setting, it's a very cheap tactic to get people unsettled. Like, okay, they don't deserve that. Even if it's the dog on the game or in a movie, like, I get it. It's fake, but no, I don't like seeing that. Thank God somebody confirmed for me that the dog is still fine and it will help you out in that same area. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah, you're such a big softie when it comes to animals. You and Justin both are like that. But I get it. It can be cheap sometimes when they use stuff like that, but only if it's used like wrong or very poorly.
Which is it's just when they use it poorly, I don't like it.
Yeah, I hope I was playing Wulong earlier on stream. And I was killing a lot of dogs. Like,
if it's unavoidable like that, sure, I deal with it. I just block out of my head. But I mean, if you're making me forcing me to stare at it and showing how bad it is, and
to watch it, yeah,
that's what I mean. That's bad. Like,
I feel it. I think the saddest one I've ever seen was that wolf in Dark Souls, who was carrying the sword.
Oh yeah, everybody's still mad at that game.
Yeah, it was a cool boss fight though, but it's just like, damn.
Like everybody's like, why do we gotta fight it?
Right. Can we skip this boss and let him be? He even tries to stop you or whatever. What you're trying to do.
Fun fact: when me and my roommate were playing Hades, we got to one of the bosses. We thought you had to fight Cerberus, Zagreus' main dude character. We thought you had to fight Cerberus, and that dog has been nothing but a gentle giant in the main lobby before you go through the dungeons.
Right.
So when we pulled up to Cerberus, we both looked at each other like, "Oh no,
no,
oh no." Thank God they didn't though. They
just go bye.
They didn't make you fight Cerberus. You just got to go find a meat and he'll get out your way.
Thank God. We were so relieved for that.
I really was. He was a good boy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's crazy though, man. Indie games and just things that have been coming out lately have been pretty good. Sony has been a little light for games as far as everything else, but everything that has come out has been pretty decent, with the exception of a remaster or port, I should say. Yeah, I mean, shoot, that's pretty much what I think about it. Is there anything else you might want to jump into?
I did have a fun idea for you. So
and that was
with the sudden increase of many many revivals, remasters, and all this other stuff, especially since it feels like this is the Switch's like twilight years where they're gonna be slowing down production and getting ready for the next generation console.
Right.
What are some HD remasters that like were locked on Nintendo platforms that you'd like to see either become a obviously it'll come to Switch because they're gonna greenlight it there first and then make it come to everything else. What remaster would you like to see like come out from there?
Oh, that's easy. I have 3 specifically. I think you pretty much kind of already know 2 of them.
Persona Q and Q2.
Yes, I want a Persona Q and Q2 that's not freaking 3DS fuzzy, and I would love remakes or remasters of those. Those are fantastic games with amazing soundtracks, granted great games. They deserve a remake of any kind because especially with the 3DS library closing like it did, you can't get the digital version. Granted, you can get them physical, and they are going up in price. They're already $75 for some copies. It's like $300 for the collector's edition right now, which is insane because that's more than the Tales of Arise one.
Yikes!
But yeah, those 2 games I would love to see. Definitely would love to see Tales of the Abyss get a remake, a remaster.
Oh, right, because that's stuck on PS2 and 3DS. With the 3DS, the only one.
Yeah, I mean, I have both versions. I haven't touched them yet. I bought them at conventions. I got Legendia too for PS2, but I would love to see Abyss be made because I remember people really loving that series or that iteration of Tales at the time, and it's the only one. It's pretty far back enough to where you can want to see something new. Because before Symphonia, it's just Legendia, Symphonia, or Abyss, and then Fantasia and all that. But definitely those 2 games, those 3 games, I would love to see because they're worth it. They're great JRPGs.
I hope they do Abyss right then, because what they did with Symphonia, choosing, I don't know what they were doing with Symphonia. I
think they're just buying time, honestly, because
I'm just upset with what they did with it because from I don't know. Okay, so from my understanding, there's been nothing to confirm it. But from what I understand, when they chose to remaster Symphonia again, because this is like the 2nd or 3rd time they did it.
Yeah,
they went with the PS2 version of the game instead of the GameCube version, which was not a good idea because the PS2 version was locked at 30, GameCube was locked at 60, and even when they pushed it out, people said it was worse than the last time they remastered it.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if they do Abyss, they do the 3DS version, keep those short load screens, and just don't fuck it up. I don't know how you're gonna fuck it up unless you lost the source code again.
Right, and that's weird for like Namco because when it comes to like the franchises they are like established and like well beloved, they usually do it pretty right. Like they did Tales of Vesperia R remaster, like really great. They did the PS3 version, all the Japanese content that American fans never got, and they just knocked it out of the park. It came out for PS4 and it was fantastic.
It's just so weird how they do some right and some wrong. I don't know. Maybe they just felt lazy that day, but
I think they're just buying time for Tales of Arise because we've seen like the little listing for it on the trademark section. I think website. I don't know the one specifically, but if you look on Abyssal Chronicles, you'll see it.
Okay.
And Dawn of the New Hope or Dawn of the New World is we're pretty much already going to get a Tales of Arise sequel, which is fantastic for me because that game was great.
That's good.
And I think they just put that Symphonia remake. I'll call it a port because they didn't really do anything different.
No, remastered the generous word for that.
Yeah, the slight remaster.
They said they'll fix it, but who knows how long that'll take. Since if it was just rushed out there, they'll fix it when they fix it.
Yeah, I believe they'll fix it. They just needed time to do it. But most of Tales team is like one team. It's hard for them to split up. And plus, Tales Studio is just kind of weird in general. But yeah, I think they're just buying time with that. Because they've been going lately by this 2-year pattern of, like stuff and whatnot. And with the exception of like Tales of Berseria to like Arise, that was the only time that like, well, I guess no, it's been more than 2 years because Berseria came out in like 2016 and Arise came out in like last year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're definitely starting to follow a 2-year pattern. I just hope they just give us something soon at a big event. I think TGS of this year will show us something. I can't imagine anywhere else they would show it unless they did like, I'm tripping. No, before TGS, they'll probably get Tales of Festival. Will probably be announcing it then.
Oh, okay. There's that.
Yeah, because I always check them out even though I don't understand anything they're saying because there's barely any subtitles sometimes, and
that's fair.
It's still a fun event to watch though.
Okay.
Because Tales are hardcore. So it's kind of weird, but like they're really great at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got some remasters I think that you would like to hear. That would like to come to fruition since we're at this point where like it's just like remasters and collections coming out again, which is fine. Any way to get a game cheaper than what it's asking for on eBay or something, especially if it comes to like quality of life improvements, fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple that came to mind right off the bat. I think I would like to see a Rayman trilogy collection where it comes with Rayman 1, the PS1 game,
Mm-hmm.
Rayman 2. It's up for grabs which one's considered the best version of that game. I think people say it would either be the Dreamcast or PS2. I think
Dang.
it's split.
That's a hard one.
And I want to say Rayman 3. I know I got an HD port a while ago in the 360 PS3 market,
mm-hmm.
but I think having a Rayman trilogy collection would be nice from Ubisoft. Just
Right.
a quick little thing to show they still care about their other legacy titles.
Right.
I know they also announced a Prince of Persia, like the GameCube, Xbox, PS2 one a while ago, but that thing's just MIA right now. So
yeah, Ubisoft's in a weird place right now because I feel like for a lot of their titles are really delayed or just we're just not hearing from them. Like that Skull and Bones game was supposed to set to come out I think sometime later this year, and it just got delayed again like crazy. And they didn't even say like when. I think.
Dude, from what I understand, they're just at this point they don't have any confidence in that game. They don't think it can compete with Rare's what do you call it, the Sea of Thieves. And at this point, they're just contractually contraction. Oh my god,
come on, man, get it out.
They are being paid to make it, and they got to get it out there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They just know it is not going to be able to compete with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is that they're going to use Assassin's Creed as a trump card. Because they've already talked about, they should put out the announcement trailer for it, a cinematic trailer for it. It looked really great. But they're talking about going back to their roots. So either Valhalla's gameplay formula didn't work. I haven't played the game yet. I really want to try it. And Origins didn't work. It's funny because I heard Origins was like, they didn't like the combat too much because Assassin's Creed is a stealth game. And it went all, Dark Souls styled, basic combat.
With those, it's just the burnout. People are just burned out from like how long those games take. And it's just they have a lot of fat.
Yeah, I heard Valhalla has just a crap ton. I think it's like almost a 100-hour game, if anything, if you take your time. I was like, damn, like to me, like an Assassin's Creed fan, because I haven't burned out. I just haven't had the chance to really play it because life's just been busy, and I have other games that are more priority. But to me, that sounds great, but at the same time, I'm just like, damn, I get how tedious Assassin's Creed can be sometimes. But if they go back to the roots and just keep it as a stealth game, sneaking around, doing that, chase for Apple of Eden or something like that, cool. I'm with it.
I think, yeah, we'll see. If they're actually listening to the feedback from all their fan bases, whether it be the Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, or whatever other fan base are still hanging on to hope, they just got to really take that fan base and just take that input and learn from it, and actually just don't do the same thing where you just milk the same idea over and over and over, because they're very guilty of that.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Ubisoft's like almost like EA in a sense of where it's like they know what people want, but they just have a terrible habit of giving it to them too much, and it oversaturates a lot of their good titles. Like I think they announced like 7 or 3 or 4 like Assassin's Creed games. Like there's some on mobile, there's some on different platforms. There's some that are like indie style versions of themselves. It's weird. I'm just like, this is too much Assassin's Creed. Just put out a game a year like you guys used to, and then be done with it. Call of Duty does it. It's fine. Just as long as you make a quality product, I think it'll be fine.
I think I prefer their current method. I think it's just when I say milk, I don't mean like they do a bunch of stuff all at once. I think what I'm saying is like their formula has become so formulaic that you know what you're getting into, again, and it gets boring. That's really what it comes down to. I'm not saying that you're not getting your money's worth when you buy these games. Yeah. But if you bought Far Cry, anything from 3 to now, you've played them all, and they all have different storylines and all that, but like
they're all the same game. Yeah, that's fair. Ubisoft has that bad habit of every game they make, though.
They find a formula that works and they stick with it, which wouldn't be a bad idea on paper, but the fact you don't really innovate it on top of whatever it is, aside from changing the setting, that's where you kind of just get like, it's just something you would put on music to and just go at it just to kill time.
Right. And it's crazy that you say that because usually like when Ubisoft would have like this period of where they were just trying new things and they did really great. Like for example, Child of Light released like back on 360 and when Xbox One and PS4 were still new. Child of Light was like out. That was a JRPG by Ubisoft, one of their studios. They killed it. They made a perfectly great, simple JRPG, nothing too complicated, nothing too crazy, decent story, great gameplay, and a good world to play through.
I think
so. They got the potential.
So I saw a video one time that once said that one of the devs on the inside, or even that a dev from the Child of Light team, said that like last time somebody came up to them with a good idea that sounded risky, and Ubisoft said, and I think they specifically blamed Beyond Good and Evil.
Mm-hmm.
They said last time we took a risk on a project, it cost us money. We don't tend to make those mistakes again twice, and
that makes sense.
That's where they get creatively stumped, where they're scared to take risk.
Yeah,
but their legacy titles are still well known. They're still remembered fondly. That's why I brought up the Rayman collection being a thing, because I really want to play like Rayman 1 and 2 again. Maybe 3, because I never really got to finish 3 like that.
Right.
Another one I think I would like to see is like maybe the OG Splinter Cell trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is considered a trilogy, because I know Splinter Cell eventually did something else.
Well, that's the thing though. I think they're rebooting that, and it's in development. I don't know if Ubisoft's behind it particularly, but they probably are. But that game's definitely coming again. So I know there were some rumors and stuff like that floating around.
And that's fine. I'm happy to see that they're bringing it back. But I mean, like in the meantime, just give me the the Splinter Cells that came out on Xbox and GameCube for like modern platforms right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the buy time.
Yeah.
Especially whatever the hell they're doing with that Prince of Persia remake.
I think that's just sitting in a wall somewhere.
I don't know if they can't even get that. Like, man, it's just I got excited for it, and the fact it's been MIA for so long is like, bro, you're just killing me at this point.
Yeah, but they're just so slow with development. It's weird, and they have so many studios, which is the weird thing to me is that you have all these teams, but they're like working at like a snail's pace. Like, where's the urgency for Ubisoft at? Because shit, I think the last Ubisoft game I even bothered to care about was the Watch Dogs Legions, and I'm so scared. I'm so scared to touch that game right now because Watch Dogs 2 was great. Watch Dogs 1 was good. Watch Dogs 2 was great, and then the fact that they just jumped away from that so quickly was just like, oh, come on, guys.
I'm telling you, they don't like taking risk.
The only thing I like about it, they brought Aiden Pierce back, and I was like, okay. But I heard they force you to play other characters. That's not him, so it's like, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Watch Dogs Legion, but we'll see as I play. I'll give a final opinion when I play through the entire thing again, because I'm just too scared to. I don't want to be disappointed.
I think so. Back on the remasters.
Sorry,
no, you're good. No, you're good. This ends up. It's good to diverge, especially when we bring up companies like that, because we know they have legacy titles that they should be doing instead of doing their formulaic plans. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
We brought up Jet Set Radio, and aside from that, I think another good Sega franchise to bring back at this point, or at least give it another modern port. Maybe bundle it. Maybe just do Crazy Taxi and another Jet Set.
I swear I hear people wanting that like every time they talk about Crazy Taxi, somebody wants a remake or a remaster. And it's not bad, but I'm surprised how much like you hear it around. Surprised they just haven't done it already.
I blame the music and the fact that that game on the arcade releases had like Pizza Hut, KFC, and a whole bunch of advertisements in the game.
All just licensing problems. They can take that out,
They can take it out, but honestly, that's what made the game that. And every year, whenever Crazy Taxi celebrates its anniversary, you have the Offspring, the guys who put most of the music in that fucking game. They always like retweeting it, like, because if those guys had fun with that game, making music for it, fuck it, let them have fun.
Right. Some games they just can't make it, man. It's kind of crazy to think about that. Yeah. Oh, I'll wait till you finish your list to talk about this, but this is a possible remake I want to talk about. I'm mad excited about it. But hit me with your next game, because I know you got more.
So I've been wanting for this for the longest time, and I think with how this influx of GameCube games remakes going on, and with I don't think its sequel coming to Switch, at least the current Switch, is a possibility without it being a cloud version, which is weird because I don't know if it was a cloud version on Vita back in Japan, but I'm getting at, I think I brought this up before, I would love to see Phantasy Stars 1 and 2, episodes 1 and 2 online, remastered for Switch. I know Phantasy Star Online 2 is already on Xbox, and I think it's coming to PS4 or 5 at some point.
Yeah.
The longest issue with Phantasy Star Online 2 was just getting that sucker in official English translation, but I guess Microsoft paid out the money for it.
Yeah, they were just like, okay, we're tired of people talking about it. Let's get it done.
And, I don't know if we'll ever see it come to Switch natively because it was a cloud version in Japan, like I said. So what if that's the case? Bring out the first two games with all their DLC they had from the GameCube to the Xbox OG era.
Right.
Do that. If bringing those two games is too much, throw me a bone and give me Phantasy Star Zero on DS as a HD remake.
Yeah, I can see that. That'd be fairly interesting. It's weird because Fantasy Star's community is like so small, but like it's so dedicated. Like they never shut the games off. I know that's more out of country players playing it, but I'm surprised it's still around. Honestly, like because
It's a good game.
it's a game that struggled for sure. Yeah, without a doubt. But it just seemed like it struggled with like just development time and stuff like that. And it's been sitting around for a while before Xbox decided to pick it up.
It was just, I don't know. I guess Sega was scared of launching this MMO without having like a safety net. Like, oh, if this flops, it's our fault.
That's
But
fair.
like, having that Xbox like safety net, that money was like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I can see that being a real, hassle to deal with. But I mean, it comes with the territory of games like that.
All right.
I'm just glad people get to enjoy it. Nice. So, I have been hearing rumors and little whispers, and we've actually seen what looked to be some possible gameplay leaks. But I mentioned this before to you, but the Persona 3 remake is probably pretty real, and Atlas has promised us. I haven't checked their website recently, but I feel like I wouldn't have missed it if they actually put it out. But they promised news for April. It's the
20th.
The 20th right now. They got like 8 more days to give us some something. And so I'll start from the beginning. I looked on IGN or not IGN. I looked on the website or whatever for Atlas West, and someone posted like, "Hey, Persona 3 remake footage leaked," and it's literally a model of Yukari summoning her persona and shooting arrows at an enemy, but it looked too good to not be real, or it's a really good fan thing. And the way that it's captured is like only like a chunk of the screen is, but you can see everything she's doing perfectly.
Now, question for you, because I seen it, but since I'm not, I don't know too much about Persona now, just from observation, did it look like it was running on like maybe it wasn't using a new engine to like tease Persona 6 or anything like that? Maybe do you think it's still running on like the Persona 5 or 5R engine?
If it is running on the P5R engine, it's probably been enhanced. If anything, I don't think it's something new. If it is, I wouldn't be surprised. But just because it's hard to tell because the resolution was kind of low on it. But it looked like it was running in an enhanced version of the same engine that P5 Royal did.
Because I can't imagine them making like whatever they decide to use for 6 whenever that gets announced for a 3 remake. I'm not saying that to like throw shade at 3, but considering they want to save their resources for 6 and just give you guys a bone right now with a 3 remake, I'm assuming the easiest thing for them to do would be developing on the 5 engine and using all its assets for 3 remake.
Yeah, that would make the most sense because with Dancing Star and Moon Knight, they pretty much had character models made, and they could literally just make that game look like P5, and then just in P3 style. But I would say they'd probably go a new engine route. Only thing that would make me say they go a new engine is because if they go new engine if they use Persona 3 remake as a basis for like, okay, we're gonna remake this game in this new engine to prep for Persona 6, because usually when developers get a new engine, they want to test it out or whatnot. I could see it being, made for that, but it's also high risk, high reward, because if that game comes out buggy, fans are gonna be pissed. Like, some of the games don't come out buggy.
Okay. Next question. Would you see Atlas making this a Sony exclusive title again? I'm talking about P3 remake,
Right.
or considering the positive reception with 5, 3, and 4 being really selling well on all the platforms. Do you think I can imagine 6 being a time exclusive for PS5?
Right.
But for 3 remake, do you think they would make an exclusive, or after seeing how much 4 did good on Steam, how 3 and 4 and 5 did well on Xbox and Switch, you think they're actually going to be like, let's make this a multi-platform to start, and if Sony gives us a deal for 6, we'll go with the deal?
All right. That's hard to say because Atlas is kind of weird. So it kind of depends on the platforms themselves. Like if Sony sees the game or whatever, and they're like, "Oh man, we love this. Like we want this JRPG." They have a more likely chance of just telling them like, "Hey, we'll throw you some extra cash, give it to us exclusively." I can see that being a thing. Xbox is already pretty big, as it is. It can always get it later down the line. It just depends on how their deal works. But with Persona 5 being on Xbox, like you said, it's definitely a possibility it can get on there. but I don't know because we still don't have games like Persona Q, for example. Granted, the fan base isn't there for that, you know, like how P5 Royal is, but it's still just it's Nintendo still has exclusives, and it seems like each company or platform is taking their pick of whatever game they want. So if Sony sees it and likes it enough, yeah, they'll take it. I'd be shocked if it was on anything else, honestly.
Now, next question for this isn't this. So I bring it up because, like you said, QQs are locked to the 3DSs, which I would understand because, like, I've said in the past that
It's hard to develop for those.
yeah, porting those games to modern platforms because the dual screen was what they were built with intentionally.
Right.
So some systems may or may not play with it nicely. That's their main issue. Is like when they develop for dual screen, it's hard to go to make it a single screen game.
Yeah, but like I said before, like Atlas is the kind of company that like they know their fans, they know what they know what we want. Like in the perfect world, we would have every game on every platform. I feel like they would take the time to take that second screen options out and then just program it into the the one screen. It's like I said, it just depends. Like even Tales of like the Abyss, like port had that happen. Like even if they had to like remake that game from scratch.
And I know you've told me before that 3 is your favorite of the series.
Yes.
Do you now? How do I say this? Say we get 3 remake, but we don't get 6 afterwards. Would you think it'd be a smarter idea to just remake 1 and 2 at this point? Because the fact that you have, the fact 3 through 5 are on everything, I feel like you might as well do 1 and 2 at this point. Because
yeah,
I've had this mentality where I'm glad we're seeing good games getting modern ports, but I feel like something like Persona 1 and 2, which are notoriously hard and not really fun in the versions they have only,
yeah.
You wouldn't feel like 1 and 2 should be the next on the chopping board instead of 6.
It kind of just depends, because that's a heavy project. Like Persona 1 and 2, like if you want like a full, you're talking like full remake, right?
No, it doesn't even have to be a full remake. I'm just talking about giving it as many quality of life as you can, like with 3 through 5 have, because I just know the worst things about those games is just the difficulty.
Yeah, I would say that'd be welcome for sure. Like as a fan of Persona, I would love to, but I don't think it'd be the best choice for them to do because for one, there's 2 reasons why. Because one, people are gonna be mad that you're not remaking it because those 2 games they have their little fan bases here and there for people who actually played them. Because most people just play 3, 4, and 5. But 1 and 2, I would rather just save it for later down the line for like maybe like a big anniversary or something, or when after 6 comes out, and then they go back to 1 and 2. It would have to be a remake for me. I wouldn't bother wasting time with a port. A port is cool and definitely welcomed, but if they had to make a choice between the one of the 2, if they can't remake it over, there's no point.
Would you say if you're fine with a remake, you would prefer a remake of 1 and 2 instead of just a port? Would a 1 and 2 remake need to be like big bombastic remakes or just like damn, because I know those games are very, very like niche, old in their ways. Like what I'm saying, I bring that up because like would 1 and 2 need to be bundled if you want to sell that to people, or would you rather them like 1 gets a full remake, 2 gets a full remake, but they're sold separately?
So if we're talking full remake, if we're talking like what like a Persona game is, if they go like the traditional route, like 100-hour story, tons of things to do, tons of like stuff to do in the world and characters to interact with, do them separately. That'd be the most beneficial choice. Granted, it'd be the most work for Atlas, but I wouldn't mind like like a nice 40-hour experience, like a Persona Lite kind of thing for both of them, and then bundle them up and then charge $70 for it. That to me would be worth it. But as the Persona fan in me says, no, make these 100-hour games. Those are 2 big iterations. Because if they do that, then every iteration of Persona will be like kind of like Yakuza. Like not many games can claim to do that. To be able to say like, yeah, I remastered every game that I have for modern consoles,
and they're all on par with each other. Where like one's not better than the other. Like, right. Well, like technically, it'd be like fans based for like, oh, I like X game better than X, but in general, like they're all within the same league now. Instead of like one being like a rough PS1 game.
Yeah. I'm saying like it's high risk, high reward for Atlas to make those games, and it's a lot of work and it's going to cost a lot of money. But if they do it and they do it right, which I have faith in that they can do it, the soundtracks are amazing. The old songs that they would put on there, it was half the work done already. They pretty much have a story. They just need to enhance upon it between that and the characters, write a little bit more into it. They could do it. They could definitely do it, and that'd be a hard flex for a lot of JRPGs because to put out a game like that and just to make them all great is fantastic. Like Yakuza series is like one of the most beloved games or series ever because they love their fans. You know, they know what fans wanted. Hey, you want all these games? All right, we'll remake all of them. They sold like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think and Persona 5 Royal sold really great. So that, and now that they're on more platforms, they'll sell even more. So, and if they go multi-platform with it, then yeah, I'm okay with it not being exclusive then.
I think that'd be fine then. I think, because I know, like me, if I want to think like realistic route, I think what would happen within the coming year or so is that Sony would probably get the rights for Persona 6 whenever that would drop. But I think as a multi-platform thing, you would get 3 and then like 1 and 2 remastered. Like 3 remake, 1 and 2 remastered, but 6 would be exclusive to Sony for like a year or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't think those games would be worth it if they weren't remaster or remakes instead of just remasters. Remasters would be cool, but that means they're gonna have to be cheap, $20 ports, and there's not gonna be that many touch ups. They're gonna literally just bring down the difficulty, upscale the graphics a little bit, and then that's kind of it.
Here's an interesting idea I came up with, and not like, hear me out. I think that this would be an interesting throwback. So say they do the remake approach, but it's a reimagine. And I know that sounds weird. Like, and I'm not saying go the full blown $70 AAA remake for 1 and 2. But 1 was just a PS1 game, right?
Yeah.
What if they did 1, but they remade it into the style of Persona 4?
Like Golden?
Yeah.
That wouldn't be bad. That'd be pretty good.
Like, that way it's still on a budget, but it's still getting that treatment that, like, yes, this game's the roughest. We're not just going to give it a quality of life and treatments. We're going to give it that little bit of extra oomph.
Yeah.
And maybe do that for 2.
The only thing that they would need to do that, they should do that for 1 and 2 if they really did.
Where, like, they pushed for, like, a high-res PS2, like, PS Vita graphics for the 1 remake, but that way it's still within budget, and then it doesn't interfere with 6 development.
I think the only thing that would make or break that would be the art style and the character models. Don't get me wrong, P4 looks fantastic. It's a great game, but those character models are very dated and really rough. So I think that, I think if they can make it look nice, like I'm trying to think of a good example. If they can make it just like look like really cleaned up and really nice and make it feel like it's really fresh and not just like a rip of P4 Golden, then yeah, definitely for sure. Which I doubt. I'm pretty sure they could do easily. It's just it would come down to character models realistically.
I think what we need to aim for is have the Persona 1 remake aim for that, like that idea of like a PS4 or P4 Golden, but maybe use like the PS3 models of P5. Because remember, P5 was still a PS3 game, so maybe aim for that. So it's just clean enough to be in like 1080p, but not too downgraded to where it looks like a high-res PS2 Vita game.
If you can make it look like Tales of Berseria, not Berseria, Tales of a bit like Vesperia or like Exilia, then yeah, you're good. You're sold.
Okay.
Those are pretty good minimum standards to have for a game like that. Especially something that's coming from, down your sprites and then to, full on 3D models. But yeah, that art style would definitely be the thing that would make it the hardest to do. Yeah. I feel like it'd be really mixed though for people who like it. Like some probably want full on remake and some others want probably like, I want the original. Granted, which one would win, but yeah, that'd be really great to see. I would really love to see that because those games definitely deserve it. And yeah, but I say Atlas should go for the high risk, high reward measure and just fully remake both of those games. Even, I would say though, remake those games before you do 6. And then that way there's literally nothing holding you back. And fans can't, be like, oh, where's my remaster at? No, like it's like, you got it. Like now we can focus on, 6, no problem.
Yeah.
Do whatever. I wonder what color they're going to choose for the next series too. It's probably going to be green.
Oh yeah, each one has their own color. That's right, because 3 was blue, 4 was yellow because gold.
5 was red. And then 1 was like, I think like a purple burgundy. No, the first one was purple, and then the second one was burgundy red,
like a blood red.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then 5 was bright red. Kind of stole their colors. There's a funny meme about that somebody made too. It was hilarious. With like you just giving shit to the P2 protagonist about that shit. He's like, you stole my color, bro. It's like, what the hell? And but yeah, so they all have different colors. I think green will be the next one. I can't think of any other color. What will be next?
I'm not familiar. All I can say is you can either do, like you said, if you're talking about just colors of rainbow, you can do orange, you can do green,
Orange
you can do white, black. Because I don't think there's been a black one. I feel like the day they do the black one is though when they do like a full on like edgelord story.
Yeah, they would have to go stupid dark. Like do that. But I think green would make the most sense. That's the only like major color I haven't seen.
Yeah, like major, like bright, like
primary color basically. I think. Oh, is green primary color? No, it's red, blue, and
yellow.
Yellow. It's a primaries.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Like an approachable, friendly color is green.
Green is primary. Yeah, red, blue, and green is the primary ones.
Because the other one I can think of would be pink, but I don't know if because you said one is purple.
2 has a little pink, but only like an accents and like certain artwork. But yeah, definitely though. Greens should be it, and then man, I can't wait to see what they do with that, man. That's one of the most anticipated like things ever, and they're so hush hush about it. I hope this P3 remake goes real. That'd be awesome because if that's the case, then all they have to literally do is just write in all the missing parts, and yeah, just you can keep the story the same too. I wouldn't mind that. Keep the story the same, add stuff to it, of course, and new cutscenes, update the social the social links and whatnot. Because in the old one, depending on who, at least in P3 FES, you can only talk to the female characters, and then they did 3P3 and they updated all that, but then did no character models for whatever reason. So that was weird, but yeah, it'd be great. I would love to see that. I hope it's real. I hope that's not just some fan who's passionate and really pissing and just really
trying to troll you guys.
Yeah, because I'd be super pissed if that was the case. Like, I would probably strangle that person if I ever met him.
I bet.
Definitely. But for sure. Well, that was interesting talk. We had a lot to say. Remakes and indie games and all that are always fun to talk about and, speculate on. Again, I just like to make it clear so everyone knows, we're not experts. We're just, two buddies, talking about games and what we think of them and what we hope to see from them. And, some speculation here and there. We are not experts. If we get anything wrong, feel free to let us know down in the comments down below while you're liking and subscribing. That'd be really awesome. And have a good one. And let us know what you're playing. Have a good one. Sorry.
All good. Peace.